competes for Yamaha of France. We're off, and our first qualifying heat of the year is underway. Number 4 to the inside, but cutting across that line first. We're going to give it to Ezra Lusk right now.
Goodman just getting started in that first corner crash. He's going to have to come from behind. Look at how tight it is coming out of the corner after the whoops.
Larry Ward making a play for second place. He moves into second place in the corner now and will take on Team Honda's Ezra Lusk. Lusk, the veteran. For that Team Honda this year, it's Larry Ward in second place, followed by Stefan Roncada, number 22. Roncada on the Yamaha of Troy.
Excellent piece of riding by number 5, Pichon. You see right there. He started right next to his teammate Lusk.
And the two Frenchmen battling it out for third.
He got sideways right out over the gate, had a terrible jump, and somehow weaseled his way through that first corner and into a good position.
That is a good battle now for third place. Roncada and Pichon, number 5, behind him, with another Frenchman, Sebastian Tortelli, in 6th place. Back to our leader, Ezra Lusk.
Larry
Yogi's
Ward
looking for a more consistent year, and Larry Ward is putting some pressure on him, David Bailey.
Yeah, the one thing that always bothered me is when I got the whole shot and thought, okay, I'm in control of things, and all of a sudden you start getting a lot of pressure. Right now, Ward is keeping the pressure on. That's how you can force a mistake. Look at that. Lusk going for the quadruple, jumps all 4 of those. It's going to be a big time saver tonight, but it's pretty risky. McGrath said it takes a lot of nerve to go for all 4 and still make the corner.
Pichon makes the jump pass, and Roncada gets right back at him as we watch Ezra Lusk go over the finish line with 6 laps to go. Last year, Lusk fueled a rivalry with Jeremy McGrath, and David, it's going to be interesting when those two finally meet on the track to see if all was forgotten, because Ezra had these words earlier. Welcome back to Supercross, our first qualifying heat of the year from the opening round of Pace Supercross. Moving into third, number 5, Mikel Pichon, while we were away for the commercial break. Number 22, though, Stefan Roncada, who's really anxious to get on that 250 machine. He'll be competing in the 125 Eastern Division when we move to the East.
Boy, he's going to get a lot of confidence riding the way he's riding so far in the 250. Really impressed, though, with the way Pichon looked in practice. Really calm, relaxed, able to choose different lines. That's what helped him make this pass here. And he's staying close to the leaders. You can see Larry Ward right there in front of him.
Pichon has always wanted to ride a Honda. He finally got his chance, but maybe a final factory ride if he doesn't perform well this year.
Well, he's still pretty young, so that's a plus for him, but it's already starting off pretty good. I thought it was a disaster as soon as he got a terrible jump over the gate. He made up for that. He's moving up. His lap times are right there with the leaders.
Here's Roncada, number 22. And Stefan, of course, making his mark with Honda of Troy, and they changed, becoming the lead support team for 125 action for Yamaha after last season. Ezra Lusk, our leader. Ward looks like he's content in second place.
It looks that way, but I don't know if that's what's going on inside his helmet. I think he really wants to keep the pressure on Lusk. Maybe force him into a mistake. There's a problem for Pichon.
Pichon went down in the corner as he slipped out.
This track is getting so slippery. Just beneath that surface, you see all those shiny spots there as they get into that corner. They're trying to steer just out of it. All those shiny light-colored dirt sections is like riding on ice right now. So they're going to probably have to adjust their tires as the night goes on. That moisture makes it even slicker. 3
laps to go in our opening qualifying heat. And our leader, Ezra Lusk, is about ready to lap number 53, Pedro Gonzalez, on the Kawasaki Mexico entry. Roncada in third, Pichon in 4th, as we look at Ezra Lusk, number 4, going through the whoops.
Now, Larry Ward, the last time through, chose the middle of the whoops, actually got a good run. I think we're going to see a lot of block passing right after the whoops and into that right-hander. If you can get through there on the inside, get a good drive, definitely can make a pass stick.
Lusk, last year, David Bailey, the standard bearer for Team Honda, coming back with their first win, winless the year before, and Ezra gave him 4 victories.
Just too bad he couldn't stay healthy. Otherwise, I think it'd been a lot more.
Ezra Lusk, Ward, Roncada, Pichon, and Tortelli are top 5. Remember, only the top 4 will get the transfer into the main event.
Up over the finish line jump. Pulled a little bit of room on Larry Ward that time. See if Ward can close that gap again.
There's our leader, number 4, Ezra Lusk, but the real battle is for third. And here's Ron Cotta, number 22, and Pichon has picked up a lot of time after slipping out.
If Ron Cotta's smart, he won't let Pichon get around him in the same place again. There you can see what I was talking about. Pichon getting a really good drive into the corner out of the whoops. He'd have been a little bit closer entering that. He's got the line going into the corner to make a pass.
Ezra Lusk, our winner, our leader, I should say, was a former 125 East champion, and not since Bradshaw in 1990 as a former 125 East champ won here. We're on the white flag lap. The final lap coming for Ezra Lusk right now.
Oh, both riders make a mistake just before the finish line.
Ron Cotta and Pichon. Pichon having trouble starting back up, and that'll change our order once again.
That's probably going to send him into the semi. That's going to move Team Honda's Tortelli up a spot. So he was sitting in 5th a moment ago. One lap changes everything. He's in the main if he stays on 2 wheels.
Tortelli with an outstanding championship charge on Stefan Everts over in Europe last year to win the 250 title in the FIM Grand Prix Motocross Series. Came down to the very last event of the year, and Tortelli was able to take that title to go along with his 125 title. But this year, he's full-time Pace Supercross. Here's the checkers out and waving for Ezra Lusk. Yogi leaves the podium, and Jeremy McGrath now at the gate here for the qualifying second heat. Kevin Windham, Mike LaRocco, Jimmy Button, Jeff Emig, John Dowd, Ricky Carmichael, Robbie Raynard. There is no room for mistakes here, David Bailey.
This looks like the main event to me, Art. Jeez, it's unbelievable, and it's definitely going to be a good semi.
Edison Field makes a pretty tough, tight track, and as we mentioned, it's slick here this evening, David Bailey. Do you expect some bumping in that tight left off the starting straight?
Absolutely, and what's interesting about the start, this time it's elevated about 4 feet off the floor, so they get a downhill run into 3 jumps in the middle of the start. Then it's on to a whoop section there you see to the right of your screen. Then across the bottom there is the first triple, a right-hander, another triple, and right after the triple, another interesting section. 4 jumps into a tight right. Not that many guys jumping all 4 of those, and then it's all real tight leading up to the finish line. We already saw what happened between Pichon and Ron Cotta just before the end of the race there, so we'll see a lot more of that tonight.
There's Jeff Emig trying for the rebound. Of course, Ricky Carmichael and McGrath in this qualifying heat. They'll be trying to make a statement.
Oh, I think the rider that's really going to want to try to make the statement the most is this one right here, number 9, right. Carmichael. I've never seen him real calm out there. He may enter the race with the race plan of being calm, but as soon as the gate drops, this kid is like a rocket.
32nd board is up, and the fans, a sellout crowd here at Edison Field in Anaheim, California. Very responsive. They're seeing the best Supercross riders in the world. Ricky Carmichael trying to make his mark in the 250s now. His first qualifying heat in his full-time 250 year. They're off and running to the inside. And let's see who crosses that line the first time. It's Robbie Raynard, number 17.
And Raynard lined up just to the inside of Carmichael and pinched him out. Carmichael blitzes through the whoops and works his way into a second. So the 2 125 riders moving up this year lead this race so far.
Emig and Carmichael battling it out for second place behind Robbie Raynard. Raynard tested very fast on the 250s. He had to convince team manager Roger DeCoster to give him the shot on a 250. Roger's smiling about it now.
I guarantee you he is. There you see the difference going over the quad. McGrath
cutting to the inside on Emig, wearing the number 11 plate this year. Emig gets it back again. McGrath in third in front of Ricky Carmichael. Then it's number 14, that's Kevin Windham. What a stacked qualifying heat we have here in Anaheim. Raynard now pulling a little lead on Jeff Emig.
This is how critical it is. Remember, Carmichael was right there, had a hold a second, made one tiny mistake. Look where he sits now. He's not going to make the main unless he moves up.
On the outside, Jeremy McGrath. The crowd's coming alive as Jeremy moves into second place. Emig in third. He'll get a challenge from Kevin Windham, number 14, and Ricky Carmichael, number 9. Then it's number 20, Tim Ferry.
Well, now you're going to see what Robbie Raynard's got under the hood.
That's a fact. Whoa! Emig goes down. Kevin Windham's involved. Oh, what bad luck.
Boy, those guys got tangled bad. It looks
Robbie
like they're
Raynard,
okay.
McGrath, Carmichael is in third now, with Tim Ferry in fourth. Jimmy Button is in sixth. Take another look at it, David Bailey.
Well, it looks like Emmett comes up way short right there. Lucky for Carmichael, just skates around the outside of their bikes.
Wyndham, number 14. And out in front with the Team Suzuki, number 17, Robbie Raynard. Boy, what a good showing for Robbie. Of course, he went over to Europe and had some terrific starts in the Supercross series there during the offseason and won the World Supercross title. We'll be right back to Anaheim Stadium with more Pace Supercross in our 25th anniversary year after these words. Robbie Raynard still our leader, number 17, but he's getting all kinds of pressure now from Jeremy McGrath. The defending champion Jeremy has never lost a 250 race here in Anaheim.
Raynard was solid. There goes Emmett. Boy, lucky he was able to walk away from that. A terrible crash off the triple.
Let's go down to Davey Coombs, who's with Jeff.
Bro, what happened? I came up short on the triple. I was trying to time it a little better than what I did earlier so I could jump the fourth. Jumps into the turn. I came up, I don't know, like right before I took off, it's like I got no traction. I was like totally coming up short on it. So
the crowd's going crazy. McGrath does the quad. Raynard does not, and he takes the lead.
Just approaching that section all the way down the straightaway where Emmett had his problems. McGrath has taken the inside there. He's in that loam. He's not getting any wheel spin. He was able to inch up on Raynard, who made a mistake down the straightaway. Couldn't do the triple, and that's what set it all up. McGrath, though, is always there to take advantage. That's why he's wearing that number 1 plate. 4 laps to go in our second qualifying round here in Anaheim, California. Ricky Carmichael's in third. It'll be interesting to see if he can gain any ground on number 17 of Team Suzuki, Robbie Raynard. But between these first 3 riders in this heat race, there's a lot of 125 titles. McGrath winning a couple before he moved up. Carmichael getting his. We'll see if Raynard can stick with McGrath now, learn a little bit for that main event.
We've got McGrath in first, Raynard in second, Carmichael in third, Tim Ferry in fourth, and Jimmy Button on the 4-stroke in fifth. Now with 3 laps to go, it'll be interesting to see if the 4-stroke can catch up and qualify for the transfer to the main. Ricky Carmichael in third.
Working his way through that loop section. It looks like it's so hard to get traction across the tops of those. They just keep getting slicker and slicker as the laps wear on. The tops of those loops right now are just like wet cement.
Here's the battle for the final transfer spot. Jimmy Button on the 4-stroke. He took the ride when Doug Henry decided to semi-retire. Looking back, Tim Ferry on the no-lean Yamaha, I should say. And the Team Yamaha 4-stroke of Jimmy Button. Button has adjusted very rapidly to the 4-stroke, David.
He has. I think early on at the Yamaha test track, McGrath was the fastest, then Button came along and up the ante, was going even faster. And the way this track is starting to get slick, I think that 4-stroke's going to get better and better.
Doug Henry told us riding the 4-stroke in racing, you have to change your thinking as well as your style. And we asked Jimmy Button about his adjustments to his new riding.
Yeah, it's quite a bit different. The power delivery is what really changes you around so much. You don't have to use the clutch as much. The traction's very good through corners and on, when it's slippery. I think Doug proved that in Vegas when he won, fairly easily. But it's just a few things you have to get used to. It jumps a little bit different. But I'd say, your cornering techniques and stuff like that are almost the same. You just got to change, just modify it just a little bit.
Tim Ferry, number 20, doing a terrific job, but Jimmy Button cuts to the inside. The 4-stroke moves into the qualifying position.
through that quadruple section. Button was the first rider in practice on Friday to jump that whole thing. As a matter of fact, he passed McGrath right there. McGrath went around the corner and stopped and just looked back like, what the heck happened there?
The white flag is out. And Ferry still trying to challenge for that final transfer spot.
Using the entire racetrack. Gives the mechanics a face full of dirt.
McGrath, Raynard, and Carmichael are top three still as we take a look at the battle for fourth. Ferry, foot off the peg. There's number one, our leader, Jeremy McGrath. Oh, he looks trim. He's got his game face on, but he's relaxed. Very confident of taking maybe a sixth title in 7 years.
You can tell he's been working hard during the offseason. Just his physical presence. He just looks healthy, and he does, Art. He's joking around, very relaxed. He's going to take this heat.
The checkers for Jeremy. So Ezra Lusk and Jeremy McGrath have won our 2 qualifying heats. Those not in the top 4 in those heats go on to the semifinal round. Dowd, Ferry, Wyndham, Koikita, Sellers, Voss, LaRocco. They'll all go to the semifinals. We'll be right back.
Art Ekman just said it. This is the house that you built. Can you be beat here?
Well, you know, that's what everyone said in '96 when I was winning all those races, and could I be beat? Let's just say I feel real comfortable here. I'm really happy with my Mazda 800 Collect Chaparral Yamaha. And I hope I can't be beat, but I guess sometime it's bound to happen. Hopefully not tonight.
Hey, I didn't think it was possible to even say this, but I got to tell you, from the way you rode that heat race, it looks like you got even faster from last year.
Well, I tell you what, we've been really working on that Yamaha. Things working excellent out there. And kind of messed up. I went in a little hot in the first corner and came out a little back in the pack and had to make quick work of those guys. And I had a great start. I just need to get on the brakes a little bit sooner, I think.
Finally, I saw when you came into the pit area, you talked to your mechanic, Randy Lawrence. Looks like you were complaining about a little bit of arm pump. Sneak up on you?
Yeah, you know, it's the first race jitters. Everyone gets a little arm pump, and I've always kind of got it a little bit in my heat races. I think I'll be fine for the main event.
All right. Thanks, Jeremy.
Thanks.
McGrath with arm pump. That's a headline. The 25th year celebration of Supercross continues when we come back. Welcome back to the sellout for Supercross in Anaheim, California, as the 250 riders now are moving toward the gate, checking out the course on the parade lap. Jeremy McGrath, the defending champion. This is his house. He's won the last 4 250 races he's been in here at Anaheim, and 2 of the 125 races before that he is also victored. He is 6 out of 6 in the last 6 races here in his house. He's earned the right to demand a Supercross only contract, but was it more motivation or was it more pressure?
Well, I mean, I have a reputation as a champion, as a winner, regardless if I win or don't win. It'll tear it down a little bit probably if I don't win, but I think it's given me more motivation because, you know, I got to buckle down and be serious for the Supercross season, and then it's time for some relaxation, you know. I figure I've earned the right to race Supercross only and race whatever selected outdoor races I want to race, and I realize some people are upset about that, but I mean, I like Supercross.
Jeremy McGrath getting ready at the gate. David Bailey, what's running through his mind right now? He was darn near perfect in qualifying.
Well, I think he just needs to get out and get a great start, maybe get on those brakes a little bit sooner than he did in the heat race, try to hold that lead through the corner and do the same thing he did. We've already seen him come through the pack. I think if he gets the whole shot, he's just gone. Johnny
O'Mara giving instructions to Ricky Carmichael. Let's go down to Davey Coombs.
Hey, David, remember we were talking about earlier about Robbie Reynard keeping that power on the ground with the rear wheel. Well, check it out. He's got the far inside spot. That's choice for him, but look who's next to him, Jeremy McGrath.
What a scenario you have there. I'm kind of surprised that McGrath didn't choose that all the way inside gate. I never really liked having guys on both sides of me, especially if I'm all the way on the inside. I don't need another elbow to mess me up on the gate, but he's confident that he can get out over it, close off Raynard.
Some terrific riders, the best in the world, nervously moving back and forth, visualizing their start. Jeremy McGrath, number 1. Randy Lawrence's mechanic.
And he got Lusk and Larry Ward and Carmichael. I can't believe how much talent is on this starting line. It is unbelievable.
The Yamaha, an entirely new machine. Everything but the clutch plates are new on Jeremy McGrath's machine.
And on the far outside, Team Kawasaki's Jeff Emig and Huffman. It's going to be tough to get a start from out there.
The fans on their feet right now as we look at Ricky Carmichael. Can he win his very first 250 race? The board is sideways. We're set to go. And then round number 1 of the 250 Supercross series is underway. Number 5, that's Pichon. And number 7, Larry Ward. It's Larry Ward taking the lead out of turn 2. Right there, number 5 is Pichon with number 4 right behind him as Lusk. Jeremy McGrath is in 5th, but cutting him off was John Dowd.
Look at Carmichael just coming into the picture, getting around Dowd, it looks like. Carmichael passed 2 riders, including McGrath, after the whoop section.
It is surprising they got through turn 1 cleanly. Here comes number 5. Yes, sirree. Mikel Pichon takes the lead. What a surprise to many. Number 7, Larry Ward, trying to get right back into the action. Larry Ward with his 2nd Supercross win of his career last year in Tampa in the mud. He's on the hard path right now as we go back and forth. Mikel Pichon and Larry Ward.
Ward is a Honda sandwich right now, trying to get himself back up front again.
Larry Ward takes the lead. Mikel Pichon, Ezra Lusk, Jeremy McGrath, Ricky Carmichael, Kevin Windham, John Dowd. That's your order.
McGrath has moved his way back around Carmichael and is right on the back door of half a Team Honda anyway. Boy, what a slick move by Ward. Gets past. I bet you Pichon thought, well, that's the end of that. I thought it was too, as a matter of fact. And Ward sneaks right back in there. And part of that is experience. He did it in the slipperiest part of the racetrack.
Larry Ward in a battle. Finished in the top 10, 8 of the last 9 years. Very consistent. Boy, would it be a feather in his cap to take away with the opening.
Look at McGrath, just delicately is sliding it in on the inside. Carmichael staying glued to McGrath. This is a freight train of some of the best riders I've ever seen in the main event. Look at how close they all are, Art.
Outstanding to watch this action.
Windham switched to the yellow clothing.
Here's my
for the main event.
Ricky Carmichael, number 9. He's trying to put the heat on Jeremy McGrath.
And right behind him is Carmichael. Windham, rather.
Pichon to the inside on Ward. Can't quite get the angle. Ward maintains his lead out in front with the 2 Hondas right behind him. Then it's Jeremy McGrath and Ricky Carmichael. There's the battle for 2nd place. Look out. Number 4, Lusk holds on to 3rd. Back and forth we go.
While they went back and forth, right behind him, Carmichael and McGrath went back and forth. Carmichael got the better edge of that one.
Let's reset the order. It's Ward, Pichon, Lusk, Carmichael, now Windham, and then Jeremy McGrath. Number 3, Mike LaRocco, is behind McGrath now.
This is going to be a fight all year long. If this is any indication for McGrath to try to win here now, he's got to pass probably more great riders than he's ever had to do in his entire career.
5 riders in front of him. McGrath tries to cut in front of Windham, and we've got a 3-way battle with Jeremy McGrath in the fold.
Carmichael just scared. Look at the stuff that Carmichael's jumping. A completely different timing. That's how it set up the pass for him on McGrath a lap before.
Ward, Pichon, Lusk, Carmichael, Windham, and then McGrath.
Right, one little tiny mistake, and he dropped like 3 positions. So tight.
Very cautious on those slick turns. The experienced riders then turn up the throttle. Ward through the whoops. A little rough from Pichon.
Here comes Lusk.
Lusk number 4 to the inside of Mikel Pichon. The 2-team Honda battling it out.
Lusk looking over his shoulder just to make sure, like, okay, I'm clear of you. I'm going to move over to the inside now. This will change the complexion of things now for Larry Ward, because he's going to notice that number 4 back there now, not 5. Lusk's maybe a little bit more aggressive than Pichon.
Larry Ward has placed a 3rd here at Anaheim and a 2nd before. 1 year he had a broken thumb. He didn't run. But Larry Ward trying to hold on to the lead position over Ezra Lusk.
Well, I'll tell you what, both of Larry Ward's victories in hometown in Seattle, then in Tampa last year, very emotional. I'll tell you, if he can hold off these guys in this one, this would be the all-time greatest for him.
There's the defending champion, Jeremy McGrath. McGrath has won 3 times the opener and gone on to win the title that year. But, of course, he's won 2 other titles where he didn't capture the opening round.
What a great time for a sellout to see a race this close. Usually by this time of the race, it's been McGrath pulling away, or something's happened with some of the top riders get hung up in the first corner. They're all still right out front.
Here comes Wyndham, number 14, Team Honda, trying to challenge Ricky Carmichael. They tick wheels. Wyndham just searching for a position to get around Ricky Carmichael.
McGrath is so slick. He didn't even double that jump, didn't lose any time. He almost made a pass, as a matter of fact.
What a battle for the lead we've got going now as Larry Ward was side by side with Ezra Lusk. Suzuki hasn't won here in Anaheim since the early 80s.
Whoa. Lusk squaring that corner, Pichon coming in. They almost get together.
The 4-time winner last year, Ezra Lusk, number 4. Looks like a heat-seeking missile.
How about Larry Ward? This is unbelievable. This guy has been around for so long. Had so much success in overseas.
And in 1995 was the only privateer to get into a 2nd place position in the points to Jeremy McGrath. Ezra Lusk to the inside. Ward looks over to him. Ward retakes the lead on the advantage.
Boy, that was beautiful. And the way he won his first ever Supercross against Jeff Matasevich in Seattle was a lot of that type of block passing.
1990.
Larry
Came
Ward
back last year for his 2nd win, and there is Ezra Lusk. Larry Ward is being overtaken by Mikel Pichon. So the 2 Team Honda riders, 1 and 2, going down Jeremy McGrath, Ricky Carmichael, and McGrath touched wheels.
Emmett goes by McGrath. There goes McGrath's teammate, Steve Lamson. So
Lamson, number 24.
in a heartbeat, things can change in a hurry.
Okay, let's reset the lead then. It's Ezra Lusk, number 4 on the Team Honda, number 5, Mikel Pichon behind him. Larry Ward now in 3rd position with Kevin Wyndham knocking on his door. And right behind him is Mike LaRocco. Check it out again, David.
Watch what happens right here. McGrath gets tangled right there with Ricky Carmichael. Carmichael almost goes down in the process. Just guys coming out of that corner the lap before. Pichon and Lusk got very close. So much good talent out front. There's not enough room for everybody.
Well, after Jeremy McGrath surprisingly left Honda, not one single win for Team Honda in 1997. Ezra Lusk came back with 4 wins for that team. Mike LaRocco cutting inside of Ward. So we've got 3 Hondas now. 1, 2, and 3. And I was just going to say that after Lusk was almost the single standard bearer for Honda last year, Honda went out to beef things up. They didn't want to take any chances. They gave Mike LaRocco brand new equipment.
Now they got the top 4 spots. So it's all paid off.
Pace Supercross in his 25th year will return to Anaheim shortly. Mike LaRocco, halfway mark. Coming up, 10 laps to go.
That is still a long ways to go. Larry Ward, where the bottom just fell out. I don't know if he got tired or his arms pumped up. I would have to think that he got a little nervous. Maybe he got some arm pump because he went from riding super to just off the pace.
LaRocco in the Honda stopwatch has 5.2 seconds to catch up to the leader in 10 laps.
It's plenty of time. We've seen what happened to McGrath in one corner.
There's McGrath going through the picture. Steve Lamson behind him. 17, Robbie Rainey.
This track just keeps getting slicker. There goes Phil Lawrence. Albertine.
Albertine only 33 seconds back.
Button and Tortelli.
Did you expect a little bit more from Button's four-stroke here?
Absolutely. I thought I put money on him to get the whole shot. I was watching him yesterday in the practice. He started with everybody about half a dozen times. He got every start.
A little wider tire.
Maybe a little over
power. And with a slick surface like this, it was a very similar surface in Las Vegas when Henry won the first four-stroke 250 victory.
There's Cliff White.
Team manager of Honda.
My mechanic for 6 years at Honda. He is a smart man. He has got to be happy with the way things are going. I know he was probably more nervous than the riders were because he has rebuilt this team, but if they didn't win or have this kind of a showing so far, it's a lot of weight on his shoulders.
4 Hondas, and then John Dowd, the 125 West Coast winner last year.
Now Lusk is starting to quadruple those. Pichon's tripling and then taking the inside. Doesn't lose much time, just a little bit each lap.
Ricky Carmichael is in 6th, Ward is in 7th, Emig in 8th, and McGrath in 9th.
Tell you who's putting in a pretty good ride, Art, is John Dowd.
John Dowd very, very steady.
Right back there behind Kevin Windham. They've stayed about the same. Holding off Carmichael.
8 laps to go.
How about that? Emig having to go all the way to the last chance. He's riding around ahead of McGrath right now.
His next target, Larry Ward, in the battle for 7th.
Now you see McGrath just right behind Emig there. Who would have thought that the way things went out of the heat races, or the last chance for that matter, that Emig would be ahead of Jeremy right now.
David, in many Supercross tracks, the whoops are a short distance, but are very, very important as far as the time on the track is concerned. Look at there, Emig with a great pass on Ward. What I'm saying is, what do you think about the short whoop section here? It's even shorter than normal.
And we're seeing a lot of things happen through there, and part of that is because of the entrance. You make a left, and the whoops start right away. Then you go up a little hill and then back down. Jeremy moving up another spot.
Our field summary, Lusk, Pichon, Larocco, Windham, and John Dowd.
The approach to that whoop section is what's making it so tough right now, and also it's so slick.
Let's go down to trackside and Davey Combs.
Mike Gosler, I'm telling you, those Hondas are flying, especially your rider, Ezra Lusk. You guys got to be stoked.
Yeah, we're really stoked. I mean, we've been working hard in the offseason. It looks like it may have paid off. Looking good. Let's hope it stays that way.
What about Pichon? You nervous about a teammate being second?
Yeah, I see him back there. I see all of our teammates back there. Looks good.
The last Honda sweep in Supercross goes back to San Jose in 1990.
I've been involved in a couple of those, Hannah, myself, and O'Mara, but that's all the way back to 1983.
The battle for 7th right now is out in front. 4 Hondas in almost a freight train effect.
See McGrath reach down in the air and readjust his clutch. Not much time in the air over that finish line. He just reached up there nice and casual and goes, I need a little more clutch now.
McGrath having to reach back mentally after 6 for 6 in his last 6 races here in Anaheim.
Well, all good things come to an end at some point, but just because he's having bad luck here doesn't mean that he hasn't been the fastest rider out here of the night at times. He's well in the hunt. I think he's just going to learn a lesson. This is probably just going to make him a little bit more motivated for the rounds 2 and 3. Last year, he kind of took his time, worked his way into it, got in that great battle with Lusk, and finally picked up a win in Seattle and just eased his way into that points lead, never let go.
Carmichael, Emig, and McGrath. McGrath doesn't seem to be able to get behind or get ahead of Jeff Emig right now with 5 laps to go. Time is running down. In control is Ezra Lusk, a 4-time winner last year.
There's the corner where it all went sour for Jeremy.
Randy Lawrence is the mechanic for Jeremy McGrath, and Davey Combs is with him now.
Randy, things were going so good in the heat race, and then Jeremy had some problems. Is there something wrong with his clutch?
No, he's just adjusting his clutch right there, but I don't know, maybe Everyone's pretty relaxed. And I came out here, we actually got a pretty decent start. Getting down here to the first turn, and kind of got pinched a little bit. And then just trying to get through, he was being aggressive and ended up going down. So he's trying to regroup and get back up in there right now.
He just made the pass on Jeff Emig. Emig trying to come back as they're side by side. But a good move by Jeremy McGrath. He's hanging in there. Ricky Carmichael in front of him.
That was just patience. Emig is tough to pass. These guys ended up together a lot of times. I think that Jeremy would know how to do it by now, and Emig would certainly know how to hold him off. That's why it took so long. Jeremy just had to wait for just the perfect spot.
Jeremy McGrath in the first year of a 2-year renewal of his Chaparral contract. Incidentally, Larry Ward fans, he's gone from 1st to 14th. And here's our leader, Ezra Lusk.
White flag.
Final lap. The white flag is waving. Lusk is looking for his 7th career win.
And John Dowd will not let go of the back bell. And he's actually... Dowd had briefly passed Kevin Windham there, and Windham got him right back. Passed him over the finish line and jumped. Windham just waited and cut back underneath him.
Jeremy McGrath passing Robbie Rayner. And Mikel Pichon still in second place with LaRocco in third. But number 4 is headed toward his first opening win. His first time to win an opener. The checkers are out for Ezra Lusk. He was headed for his very first 250 podium quite some time ago when he collided with Emig and went down on the last lap. But the last lap here tonight in Anaheim was no problem for Ezra Lusk.